Today, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.
"22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Cousins looking to put it up right away. And his first look is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
Lets it fly for Thielen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. Call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. On 1st and 10, Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Without the previous... That would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. A good gain on 1st has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. The Vikings after him. And Neil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback,
Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this returnable for Rager. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. The Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. On play action, Cousins. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Play action now. Cousins. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll fake the give, now Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Amon-Ra St. Brown set a Lions rookie record with 912 receiving yards, and over 60% of those came in the final 6 games of the season. He got better and better as the campaign rolled on. And when they went to him like he was their top receiver, he produced like it as well. And he certainly earned that spot here in his second year, and he gets a first down for Detroit.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Oh, how about this on first and goal? Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order. They gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So roughing the passer call is accepted, and this officiating crew not making very many friends here with this crowd.
Yeah, we all know that everyone accuses the officials of kind of playing to the home team.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamal Williams punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now, because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. On the move to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. On 1st down, it's Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Josh Reynolds, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Cousins. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. First down, here's Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Oh, going for Jefferson down. 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission. Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Jack Fox now. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming. Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. From the 45 on 2nd down, Goff. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork. Goff with a pass caught by Reynolds. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Swift is in for a Lions touchdown. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns. So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard? Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove. They're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins escaping the pressure right.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short.
Touchdown, Vikings. Cousins able to connect with Adam Thielen. And the Vikings get a bit closer. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out.
Time for another look at this Lions offense.
And now consider the lead. The question is... How much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
But that was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate that was just incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll find Thielen working the middle.
And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Cousins again. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Cousins.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked by Tracy Walker, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tracy Walker.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41. Well, Charles, you know, it's so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Goff. Sharks got it left side.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Here remain in the half on is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Taken at the 15, a short kick.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Third quarter starts with a run from Swift.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. The open man is Shark. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Lions have opened the lead up to 30.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. That wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
A first down throw for Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
There's Charles Harris getting home for the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down.
Always enjoy a good fake, but I really enjoy it when he throws the football from punt formation. Now, you were a kicker and a punter in high school. Did you ever do that?
One time, threw to my man Tim Jones on a botched field goal attempt. Hit him right in the numbers, and Jonesy just dropped it.
Oh, the poor guy. Well, we had a fake punt here, and this guy caught it. So I think he and his friends will be okay with that one.
And he loves this play call, right? He's been waiting for this one all week long.
Been had that arm loosened up ever since they got to the stadium.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
They'll throw again. Cousins. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Now Cousins. And it's caught. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Cousins now. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Cousins to throw it. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Once again, it's Swift.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 4th down, Goff departs, and Austin Seibert is out there for the Lions field goal now.
It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Seibert able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Tracy Walker.
Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit, give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that call now.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And now here is another interception. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Go off a handoff here to Swift. And he'll take this down to the 33.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Swift going to try up the middle. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end